Have you ever struggled to synchronize file systems from various sources with Google Cloud Storage while ensuring a seamless and straightforward process? Let's discover how Google Storage Transfer Service can save the day. This will be an approach without any coding and can be managed and understood through the Google Cloud Console. Now, the source data is actually quite flexible. We could have things like Amazon's S3, for example, other Google Cloud Storage buckets, or even POSIX file systems located on Compute Engine instances, EC2, or on-prem systems. We've got a lot of flexibility here, but regardless, we'll get this seamless approach for synchronizing data to a Google Cloud Storage bucket. With the objective defined, let's jump into the Google Cloud Console to set this up, where we'll walk through broad concepts and showcase the POSIX file system example. To start, we're going to log in to our new project here and then navigate to the storage transfer service. We'll start setting up a transfer job and an associated agent pool. Note that the POSIX file system approach and S3 compatible object storage require an agent pool setup. Meanwhile, we have an agentless approach for other forms of data synchronization. In just a moment, we'll need to create a node pool. Ultimately, we'll be charged based on the number of successfully transferred bytes for the service, which costs about 1 cent per gigabyte. Setting a bandwidth limit can sometimes be helpful for cost, performance, or availability reasons. In any case, we're going to create the agent pool, which requires Google Cloud PubSub. We'll need to add this agent to a source later on, but for now, let's go ahead and create the transfer job just to fully understand what our process will look like. Imagine, for example, that we want to synchronize a specific home directory, and we want that to sync with the Google Cloud Storage bucket. Note that these bucket names need to be globally unique. We can set the transfer job to run once or on a custom frequency, with the minimum duration being 1 hour. We'll start with just running it once. There will be some options for configuration, including metadata, which we're skipping in this case, and overwrite and delete behavior. Your use case will dictate how to set these different configuration options, but keep in mind that these settings are important and can lead to overwriting or deleting data in some circumstances. Let's create the transfer job and note that we need to install an agent in the agent pool. Now we've got our job queued up. Inside our agent pool, let's click to install an agent, and we're only going to give it access to the home directory we want to synchronize. We're given a command here that will be used on the host, which is based on a Docker approach to run the storage transfer agent. We can save this command for later usage. Now let's create a VM instance that we can use to demonstrate the concept, and we'll use Compute Engine for that. In the instance creation interface, we can mostly accept the defaults. However, for our purposes, we'll use a non-shared core instance for additional computing resources. Importantly, our image needs to have a POSIX compatible file system for synchronization to the Google Cloud Storage bucket. Additionally, we need to pay attention to the identity and API access details. If you want to experiment with various services and synchronization approaches, you may want to allow full access to the cloud APIs. Even with that setting, your service account will dictate exactly what you can do with GCP services. For the sake of convenience, we'll use the in-browser SSH option. Just make sure to enable pop-ups. Our instance will come with the gcloud command, but if you're using a system that doesn't have that, be sure to install it. However, we do need to install Docker, so we'll run through the standard Docker installation, which will be linked in the description of this video. With our Docker Hello World running successfully, we should be set, so let's grab an agent installation command. Before we run that, we should create a home directory for a user named Nodomatic, and that will be the directory we sync. We can also add a test file to that directory to give us something to validate once the transfer starts running. With that set up, we can grab the gcloud command and run it. This agent installation requires an explicit credentials file, so we'll need to run the suggested command. With the authentication set, we should be able to install the agent now and test our synchronization setup. We'll perform a quick sanity check to ensure that the Docker container is running and perhaps even access the logs for that container. Seeing the initializing monitoring message is a pretty good sign. Now let's go back to our agent pools in the Google Cloud Console. We should immediately see that we have an agent connected to our demonstration pool. When we switch over to our transfer jobs, we'll see that this job has already run successfully. The job can also be viewed from the pool when we navigate to transfer jobs. It may take some time for the data to appear in our bucket, but let's check to see if we already have that test file. It looks like we do. The test text file is present. If we download it, we'll see the Hello World message we had input into the text file. We'll keep an eye on the comment section for any questions, and we want to thank you for watching. Please enjoy responsibly.